Hello everyone. So it's October, it's the 2nd of October, which means that it's time for us to start the next HRCYED challenge vlog and episode, and focus on the two prompts that I'm going to try to finish this month. The first thing that I also want to talk about is the new release that I'm reading this month, and it's Gaza, Story of a Genocide, and it's a collection of testaments to what's happening there, and it's collected by Verso, so I do trust Verso to make a good job out of this. I have actually started the introduction part, and it's promising. I got this in NetGalley, by the way. Thank you to NetGalley and Verso for the proof. So I don't have it to show you, but that's what I'm reading for the new release for this. And then in terms of the squares that I'm going to be finishing this month, the first one is Become the Avatar, and this has 4 different elements that you have to cover. For water, I read The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese last month, which was about an Indian family that had sort of a curse, and a lot of the people died with water, and it was kind of a huge family saga sort of book, and I enjoyed it. For Earth, I had put The Old Ways by Robert McFarlane, which was a non-fiction about sort of Robert McFarlane going on walks in the countryside in Britain, like recording the things that he saw and recording the things that he thought about what he saw and all of that. For the air prompt, I have also completed that one, and that was with The Factory by Yokoshima or something like that. I don't remember the name, but I will put it on the screen, because it had like a cloud thing in the cover, so I think that counts as air. And that one was sort of a satire of the kind of jobs that we get these days, and I thought that one was fine. And the only one that I have left to read is the fire prompt, and for that I'm going to read Atusparia by Gabriela Wiener. It has like fire in places in the cover, and this is about sort of, I think it's like about a indigenous leader in Peru that tried to oppose to the Spaniards. I got this in Spain, so it's in Spanish, and I'm very excited to read it. Gabriela Wiener is an author that I really enjoyed, so yes, I'm very excited for this. And then the other square that I'm trying to complete this month is all the adaptations, and for this one I'm actually not doing any of the movie watching, TV series watching thing. I'm just reading the books. The only one that is an actual adaptation is the like classic book to modern book adaptation, but all of the other ones are books that have adaptations of them, but I'm reading the originals. So the first one, as I said, is a retelling of a modern book, and for that I use Call Me Ishmael by Xiao Gu, which is a retelling of Moby Dick, but as in if Ishmael was a girl, that she made herself pass as a boy, and there was a lot of discussions about gender. It was a lot more expansive in the way that the world is described and the different cultures is described. There was something a little bit missing out of it, like a bit of depth missing, but other than that it was a very enjoyable book, and I really like what it was doing. And for a musical adaptation, I chose to go with Mary Poppins by Bill Travis. I had the illustrated edition of this, and it was cute, but I think I prefer the movie. There were some elements that were different between the two that I didn't not expect, and the book was just like less expansive and less exciting in the magic side. And I actually watched the Mary Poppins musical like 20 years ago when I was in New York, so I guess it counts that I also watched the musical at some point. Then for comic, I couldn't find in my library any adaptation comic that I wanted to read, and so I went to with just reading a book that has a comic adaptation, and that was Murder of the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. And this was my first Agatha Christie, and I really enjoyed the concept. It's really like playing a game, a Cluedo game or something. They really give all the clues to you. They lay them out, they make a summary, and then they give you the solution. So it's kind of like if you want to guess, it's the perfect book to do so. And I guess that's what most Agatha Christie's are like, from what I have heard. But like I didn't know that it was so like set up like that before I read it, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm happy that I read that one. Then for the theater play, I read Travels with My Aunt by Graham Greene, which is about this man that his mother dies at the beginning of the book, and we start the book with her funeral, and in the funeral he meets his aunt, and his aunt knows a lot of things about his family that he didn't know, a lot of sort of secrets, and so they kind of go into a travel around the world together, trying to find things out. It is very dated. It is not my favorite, but it does have a fairly classical but famous movie, but it also has a play, so I just used it for that prompt, and I'm happy I completed it, but the book itself was nothing super special to me. Then for TV series, I decided to go with Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis. This, I think it's a YA, but it basically follows a young girl that seems to be a prodigy at chess, and how everyone kind of undervalues her at first, and then how she grows to be herself, as I think. The TV show is very famous, Netflix TV show. So I haven't watched the series, but it sounded like something that would be interesting enough and quick enough to go through, so I went for this one. Then the next one is like a web series, and I checked, and several people say this has one, and I think I remember people talking about it many years ago, so I'm just going to accept that that's the case, and I'm going to go with Shadow Unborn by Lee Bardugo. The other option was some classics, but I just don't feel like classics, so I went for this one. I have read the Six of Crows duology last year, and I enjoyed it, and this is like in the same world but before, because these were written before, so I'm ready to have a good time with this as well. So yeah, let's hope that's the case. Then for the animation prompt, I went with Nimona by Andy Stevenson. This is a graphic novel, and it has a lot of humor in it, which I really enjoyed, and a lot of satire, which I also really enjoy. It's basically about this girl. Nobody knows where she came from, but one day she appears in this anti-hero quarters, and she's like, I need a job, you have to give me a job. And so they just develop this relationship of friendship and work as well, and we realize that the anti-hero is actually the hero of the story in a way, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was very nice. So and that's a comic, and the adaptation is also an animated comic thing, so I think that counts. And then the last one for the movie, I decided to go with The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This just got a movie release recently, and it's one of those books that you're aware of and it sounds interesting, but it's not like one that I was necessarily like going to pick up tomorrow sort of thing. It was just like a, when I have time, that's something that I could read kind of thing. And yeah, I think that's it's time. My brain power is not all there, so you can see I got like a YA like fantasy murder mystery sort of thing, because I need I still like to read a lot of literary fiction, but I also need palate cleansers right now. So we are going with that. And I think it will be good to have this after the Gaza book, because I think the Gaza book is going to be very heavy. But yeah, those are the books that I'm, this plus Gaza would be my HRCYED reading for the month, and that will complete 2 prompts. And I think also if we look at like the general board, in general there are several prompts that are quite completed now, that are halfway or something. After I'm done with this, I think I'm also going to focus a little bit more on the series Stairway. I am currently reading the HRCYED trilogy, which is the trilogy that I'm using for that prompt. And when I finish those, I think I will only have 1 book left of the series Stairway, which is the Strength of the Few, which comes out next month. So next month I will be able to complete that one, which was a heavy one, because it's a lot of books and a lot of big books and a lot of very specific books. It's not like something that you complete as you go. Like for example, the Rainbow Challenge is more books, but you can just double up with books that you would use for other prompts. Whereas the series Stairways is kind of like you have to read the series. So I'm glad that that's also advancing happily. And yeah, those are all the books that I have for this vlog, so I will update you when I read a little. Hello everyone, so it is Sunday morning and I wanted to update you because I have been reading Gaza, and it's a very hard book, but it is a very good book, I think. It's a collection of essays, and there's also a poem and a couple of like art and graphic novel bits, and it goes also topic-wise goes quite wide. Some of them are about feelings, some of them are personal stories of trying to decide what to do and where to stay and things like that. The others are more fact-based. There was one about how climate change is affecting Palestine, and also how they were trying to put on things that help with climate change and how Israel is destroying that. There's also one about the treatment of not only humans but animals and the destruction of the land itself. It's something that comes up quite often, because it's not just they are killing a lot of people, and there is more children amputees than anywhere else in the world. It's also about they are physically also destroying the land. They're like all the plants and animals, and it's all just like concrete debris now. And so it's also the nature and the way of sustaining people, also the water treatment plant, so they don't have water. All of those things are also being destroyed, and it's, even though right now the killing of people seems more urgent, these kind of things will also make it more difficult for Palestinians to go back to their own land when hopefully the war is over, because they will not recognize the landscape, they will not recognize the place. So yeah, that was also one of the, at least for me, more striking things of the book so far. But yeah, it's a hard read, but it's a necessary read, especially right now. And on that topic, actually, today is Sunday the 5th of October, and there is a big demonstration in Amsterdam about support for Palestine, and they want to make like a human red line to symbolize that they shouldn't cross that line, hence I'm wearing red. But I'm actually not sure if we are going to be able to go, because Alex has music class at 12 and this thing is at 1 in Amsterdam, so it takes us probably an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there after the class. And the weather has been terrible this weekend. There has been the leftovers of a hurricane, so the winds have been quite hard and it has been raining. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if we're gonna go. It's that balance between the immediate needs of your child, which seem very small and very immediate, and it's a place where I can make the biggest difference, and the bigger picture of what's happening in the world, and how I don't want to be silent when things like what's happening are happening, but I still have to juggle my life. So yeah, I don't know. We will see. I think we're just going to play it by ear after the class, however Alex is feeling, if she's feeling tired or the weather is too horrible. We might just come home. If she's excited about stuff, we might just go to the train station and go to Amsterdam. We will be two hours late to the demonstration, but I'm sure there will still be people there. So yeah, that is the plan for today. We'll see how that goes. So it's Monday morning and we did manage to go to the demonstration yesterday. We were only there for like an hour and a half, but it was still nice to be there. There were a lot of people and I think Alex had fun. She was a bit tired by the end, but I think she had fun. So I think it was worth it. And yeah, I'm happy that we were able to go. I also finished the Gaza book, and I think it's very necessary with all that's going on at the moment. I can tell that the editors wanted to put it out as soon as possible so that they could address the genocide when it was still relevant and maybe make a difference. And yeah, I think that's very nice of them. And yeah, there's so many angles and so many important things that are discussed in the book in a very nuanced way, which I think is good. It's not just personal accounts of what's happening, which I was afraid it might be, and it wasn't. There were some, and they are necessary, but there were also more in detail analysis about the colonialist past and how that is carried on into the present and how we treat the situation. There were talks about how it's not just about the people, which is already a lot and it's important, but it's also about the land and the obliteration of everything that is meaningful to them. And there was an essay at the end about how calling out Israel is not anti-Semitic, because if it was anti-Semitic, that would mean that the genocide had something fundamental to do with Judaism, and there's nothing Jewish about what Israel is doing. So calling it anti-Semitic is just an insult to Jewish people, actually. So yeah, I thought that was all very interesting, and I really recommend that people pick this up. I'm considering actually getting like a physical copy of it, because I think it's one of those that you might want to highlight and reread and give to anyone that is in your life that would be interested as well. So yeah, with that said, this completes the new release prompt for this month, and it also completes the Arab Heritage prompts in the square. And I think I'm going to move to Atusparia next, because it's short and it also will complete one square, which is nice. Hello everyone. So I wanted to update you on Atusparia by Gabriela Wiener because I have made some progress. I'm on page 134 now, so I have 100 pages left, and I am really enjoying this. It has taken me a while to get to this point, not because of this book. I am reading another book as well. It was just putting me in a reading slump, so I didn't want to read at all. But now I think I'm focusing more on this, and I'm liking the story. Well, it's kind of like not a collection of short stories, but it's like snippets of life in Peru. So it starts, I think, in the 90s or so, in this school called Atusparia, and it has a very Russian philosophy. It's in Peru, but it has a very Russian philosophy with a lot of Russian teachers, and they teach Marxism and anti-capitalism. And then we go further into not necessarily lives. There's no characters, like there are characters, but there are no like storyline following. I think it's the same person that we're following, but the last part that I read was set in 2028. So yeah, I don't know. It's basically just talking about the relationship between Peru, colonialism, Russian capitalism, anti-capitalism, capitalism, and all those things. It's very conceptual. So it doesn't have like a proper storyline, or we don't follow the story of any particular person, more like the story of the country, if you will. But I am enjoying it. I think she's a very good writer and makes very good points. So I am enjoying it, and I want to continue reading it. And it also has, so it has parts that are between like 30-50 pages, but then it has like subsections, and the subsections are very small. So for example, this is like the start of a subsection, and this is another subsection, and then it will go like for like a couple of pages, and then you'll have another subsection. So it does read very fast as well, and as I said, I'm enjoying it. I like Gabriela Wiener, so I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow, and I'll wrap it up for you when I do. Hello everyone, so it's Sunday night and I have finished Atusparia by Gabriela Wiener, and I enjoyed this, but it's also interesting. I like Gabriela Wiener's thought process and like sentence to sentence level writing, but this book in my opinion was a little bit messy. So it follows mostly these two women that met in their primary school, and their primary school is called Atusparia, which was a Peruvian revolutionary hero, and the school is based on Russian communism teachings, and so they grow up to be sort of revolutionaries and anti-capitalists and stuff, and then we kind of follow snippets of their lives back and forth after school, and see like their tries to make a revolution similar to Atusparia, and one of them calls themselves Atusparia. So yeah, that's kind of like the basis of it, and I like the talk about revolution and the failing of it and the things that people do or do not want to do about it, but like the structure was just too messy, so I was enjoying it while I was reading it, but when I walk away from it, it's really difficult to describe. It's really difficult to pinpoint what this book was trying to say. It just felt a little bit random and not cohesive at all. So yeah, some good things, some bad things, but I finished it. It was very fast to read, and I mean, it was enjoyable. It was just like, now I'm not sure what I got out of it. But yeah, I did get to complete the Avatar challenge square, because this counts for fire. There is like several flames in this cover, so I'm counting it for fire. There's one there. So yeah, this counts for fire, and then I'm going to count it as well for indigenous heritage in the heritage square, because Gabriela Wiener is partly I think Quechua, and there is a lot of talk in this book about the Quechua and the Incan roots of Peru. So I think this fits quite nicely with that heritage prompt. And then the next book that I'm going to be picking up, as I said, Sunday night is like 8 p.m. So I still have a couple of hours, and I'm going to start The Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis, which will count for the series adaptation thing. I'm going to move to the adaptation squares, and this one seems relatively short, and I think it's some people qualify it as young adult. I don't know if everyone does. There are several copies of this book in my library, and some of them are in the young adult section and some of them are in the adult section, so I'm not sure if it's young adult or not, but it is short, and I'm hoping that I like this. I haven't watched the series, and I'm not planning to. I just find series watching very tedious, so I don't think I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna read the book. Hello everyone. So I wanted to update you because I'm about halfway through Queen's Gambit. I'm page 98, so a little bit less than halfway through, and I'm enjoying this. It is reading very YA, so I think it is YA. It's about this girl that is an orphan, and she's very good at chess. She's learning from books, and where I'm at now, she has gone to her first tournament and has surpassed everybody's expectations of what she can do, and she's just becoming a bit of a badass, so that's nice. I'm interested in what's gonna happen next. It's a little bit maybe stereotypical, like what you expect to happen is happening, but it's still nice to read and I'm still enjoying it, so I'm hoping to finish this in the next couple of days, and then I will let you know about it. Hello everyone, so it is Thursday morning, and I wanted to update you because last night I finished The Queen's Gambit by Walter Travis, and I think the story was fun and all that, but so this book expands from when she was Beth was 8 until she was about 18, so 10 years. It's very short, and I don't think it has the development that it should have. I like that we still did see some development, like we saw her losing games and learning and struggling with it, so it was not just like she's a prodigy and she just wants everything. She did have to struggle through, so that was good. But I think, in my opinion, maybe it was not enough of that, and like her growing as a person. Also because like at the beginning she was 8, 9, and then at some point she was like drinking and having sex, and I was like, whoa, is this 9-year-old girl doing all these things? But then I realized obviously she was a bit older. And then also she struggled with alcohol at some point, and one day she decides like, oh no, I have to straighten myself up, and then she just does, and that sounds really unrealistic to me. So yeah, there were some things that were a little bit too fast and too unrealistic, but yeah, the story was fine. I think it was what you would expect. So yeah, this is finished, and it counts for the adaptation for series adaptation, and for I'm counting this for subgenre coming of age. I'm not sure if this will count as literary fiction, but yeah, what else would it be? So yeah, and I checked, and coming of age apparently it is literary fiction subgenre, so I'm just going to count it for that. and that's one more book done. Next one I will be picking up is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, which I'm actually quite excited about. I think I have heard very good cozy things about this, and I need something cozy at the moment, so this sounds perfect. And I'll update you when I have it. So it's Wednesday morning, and I wanted to update you because last night I finished the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and this was very enjoyable. I really liked the characters and the coziness of it, and I mean the mystery was fine, but it was not the highlight for me. But yeah, I think that it's like the tone of Frederick Backman, Malcolm Lube, Anxious People, that kind of feeling. It's given the same. The characters were a lot of fun and very endearing, and I really enjoyed my time. It also reads very fast, and it's just one of those things that you don't have to put too much brain power into it, and just to get something nice. So yeah, this counts for the movie adaptation because the movie just came out, and it also, I'm counting it for disability because one of the, I wouldn't say necessarily super main characters, but one of the characters that have a big role in this had a stroke, and she also has dementia. So yeah, I'm counting it for disability for the stroke. So yeah, and now it's time for me to start my last book, which is Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. I have already started the first 20 pages of this, and the writing style is very immersive and easy to read, as I was expecting. So I'm hoping that this also will go fast and easy. Yeah, as I said, it's Wednesday, and it's autumn holidays here, so that means that we don't have any activities, but I'm waiting for someone to come to fix something in the house. He should be here in like half an hour. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I hope not long, because at 12 there is a dinosaur movie that Alex wants to go see, and then after that we probably will just chill at home. We need to do some groceries and stuff, but that's about the whole plan of today. I also have to clean the house a bit, life things, and that is the plan. So I hope I can read. So it's Friday morning, and I wanted to update you on Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo because I'm about halfway through, a bit more, page 173. And this is exactly what I expected. It's easy to read, it's compelling, the writing is compelling, but the story is standard. And again, like I'm on the part in which some romantic relationships are starting to happen, and I did not like that in Six of Crows, and I don't like that here. I don't think it's needed. I think it takes away from the strength of the characters in a way. So yeah, that's not my favorite, but it's quick and easy, which is what I needed because it's busy around here. I wanted to also show you, I made this for Alex's Halloween party in daycare. Pretty proud of it, I think. I'm going to put some, she said she wants hearts on this part, so I'm going to put some hearts there as well, but that has taken some of my time. There is also currently a huge storm going on in the Netherlands. I had to leave work early yesterday to pick her up before the storm really hit, because there were winds of like 100 kilometers per hour and stuff like that. I think now it's like almost died out. It's going to completely be still in a couple of hours, I think, but that still means that I would probably go by train to work because I don't want to bike in really strong winds, even if it's just for like an hour or half an hour. So I will hopefully read more of this. as I said, it has been busy and it's going to continue to be busy. We have music tomorrow, and then we have a birthday party, and then on Sunday my husband bought for me for my birthday tickets to go to see Cirque du Soleil, so we are going to go on Sunday, which is very excited. I'm very excited about it. I go to see shows of Cirque du Soleil every like 4 or 5 years, and it has been probably a bit more than that. So we're going again. They're coming to The Hague with the show Curious, I think, and yeah, I'm excited about it. That's the update for now, and I will update you when I finish it. So it is Friday night, and I just finished Shadow and Bone by Libertugo, and I like this. I think it's fun. The story is fun. The writing is good. The similarly to Six of Crows, this has some romantic plot lines that irk me, that, you know, the heroine always has to find a man or whatever, but other than that, it's good. I think I might pick up the next ones, but I'm not in a mad rush to go through the next ones. But yeah, I liked it, and this counts for the adaptation for web series, because I think someone made a web series before the actual Netflix movie, and it also counts for the spooky creatures square for magic users, because the Grisha are basically magic users, and yeah, that completes another square in the board. I think we're making good progress, and yeah, that concludes the vlog for this month. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying what you're reading, and if you have read anything that I have read here, let me know. We can talk about it, and until next video, bye.